All right, welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 43. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. So today is going to be a little bit different due to an insane amount of new content that's been released over the last couple weeks in theaters and streaming since our last episode. So the summer movie season is officially here. So we're going to really get into a big discussion on all that, including The Conjuring 3, Bo Burnham Inside, his new special, Quiet Place Part 2, Cruella, Raya and the Last Dragon, season finale of The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, and the series premiere of Loki. We did intend to talk about our favorite movie scores and soundtracks today, but that's just going to have to wait until another day since we're going to be doing this deep dive into these new releases. But before we get to that, let's just run through some news, some new trailers, and how our summer box office pool has been shaping up after 2 weekends. Let's start with news, everyone. All right, so we've got some announcements to talk about. I'll have some weird announcements. Then we'll get into box office and our trailer talk section, where we'll talk about Reminiscence, the new Hugh Jackman movie, and Old, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. So for announcements, the first one, just really weird and caught me by surprise, I imagine most of you guys as well, is that we are getting Rob Zombie's The Munsters. So I'm not sure if everyone listening is aware of what the Munsters is, but they were basically an Addams Family competitor back in, I guess, the 60s, 70s on television. Wasn't based on a comic strip or anything like Addams Family. But yeah, as a family from Transylvania who comes to America, you're dealing with like the grandpa who's like a vampire, the father who's like Frankenstein. I guess the mother/wife is also a vampire.
Yep.
And then
Wolf Boy is Eddie.
Wolf Boy, yeah.
And their horribly deformed niece.
Yes.
Who looks like a normal person.
Who's going to be cast by some incredibly beautiful woman, I'm sure.
Probably.
Or Sherry Moon, since
Sherry Moon is Lillian, or yeah. So
she's officially cast.
She's the wife, yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So there's two people cast. Shit, I had it before. It's she's cast as the wife, and then she's Lily, and then Herman's been cast. He's shit, I forget what the guy's name was, but he kind of looks like Herman Munster.
Okay. Well, that's good that they're getting them down at least.
Yeah. So
I'm looking it up as well to see if I can find it.
Yeah. I
did not realize there was any casting.
I saw it on Reddit, so maybe take it with a grain of salt, but apparently that had been cast.
All right.
I mean, obviously, Sherry Moon's going to be in it at some point. Like, she's going to be one of them.
I'm sure a lot of his normal actors will be in it, like his crew.
And apparently he's wanted to make this for like a long time. It's like a passion project for him.
Well, he's a huge Munsters fan.
Yeah. I believe it's only going to be going to Peacock and not be in theaters. But is he going to actually do a tame movie for once? Is it not going to be a crazy R-rated film?
So Jeff Daniel Phillips is the guy that I saw that was cast as Herman Munster. And he's been in a bunch of Rob Zombie movies. He's a weird looking dude, but he looks like he could be Herman Munster. Dude, there's like two ways this can go. He makes the Munsters into some horrifying hillbilly torture murder thing, which would be the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Or he actually has reverence for it and channels his like production assistant days on Pee-wee's Playhouse to make a movie that's at least somewhat family friendly and campy and kitschy and good.
I would be shocked if he doesn't do the latter, because
it's gotta be, right?
He is like definitely like a huge fan of the Munsters. This has been a rumor forever, and like,
I was thinking it's going to be the former. I mean, it's Rob Zombie.
I don't think so. He's a nerd at heart. I think he'll probably, do it justice. That's what I think.
Wow. I mean, what do we have from Rob Zombie though?
Myers
yeah. But I mean, you can't really like make Michael Myers It's just like what Michael Myers is a
campy.
murderous dude.
It is campy though.
Yeah, but instead they made Michael Myers like this
a murderous hillbilly.
Which basically had like a hillbilly family.
Horrifying.
But there's two things. It's the Pee-wee's Playhouse thing, and then the music video of Dracula is him driving around in the Munsters car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying for. I love the Munsters. I think the Munsters are infinitely better than Addams Family. I used to watch them all the time on Nick at Night. I love Tony Gwynn as a fucking Herman Munster.
Yeah,
so good.
He was great. And who played Grandpa? Because he was fantastic.
Oh yeah, the Grandpa. I forgot his name too. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm looking.
It's like a known person.
Yeah.
Al Lewis was Grandpa, and then you got Butch Patrick as Eddie. It was a really good show. I think it was only like 2 seasons, but each season was 30 fucking episodes.
Makes sense for that time.
There's 70 episodes, and I think it was only 2 seasons.
I said he was a known person. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about Ted Cruz. Now he looks like him. That's why I said actually, a known person.
Someone said on Reddit, like, if Ted Cruz doesn't play Grandpa, I'm fucking out. Because he really looks like Ted Cruz.
One thing
he's a distinctive looking man.
Yeah, he is. One thing that's funny about this is that it's been like jokingly rumored for a while, like on the internet. It's like, oh, Rob Zombie's doing this, doing the Munsters, and everyone denied it. People were like, no, you're crazy. And now he's like, oh my god, yeah, that's insane.
It's the nose, dude.
There's the two of them side by side.
It's so perfect. If Ted Cruz had a personality, he'd be the perfect casting for it. But unfortunately, he does not.
But yeah, even his comment, his tweet was like, yeah, finally.
I love how it's just like, you Google it. Google it, and it's just like side by side. It's
so good. I hope someone like does a full on Photoshop, puts him in the makeup, puts him in the costume. That would be great.
Yeah. I'm sure someone will.
I'm praying for this thing to be not a hard R-rated mutilation horror movie, just so I can see it. I'm tired of being scarred
if that happened. Is it a movie or is it going to be a show?
A movie.
Okay. It's a movie. But it's only Peacock, like right?
Yeah.
I believe only Peacock.
That's a shame because I'll never get to see it.
You'll have to get someone's login.
Yeah. I'll have to Rob Zombie.
Tier, though, don't they?
Does it? I'll have to Rob Zombie, murder hillbilly, torture someone to get their Peacock fucking login.
Then the other bit of or another announcement for a movie we already are aware of is that we are going to be getting Spider-Woman / Jessica Drew, played by Issa Rae in Into the Spider-Verse 2. So this is the first bit of casting we've gotten for this film, first new character. As of now, I believe the only characters we know are returning is Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen. So just as of now, it's the two of them and Spider-Woman or woman. Is there any particular characters either from the first or that we haven't seen yet in the Spider-Verse that you'd like to see in the sequel?
Dude, Spider-Pig, obviously.
I want more Nicolas Cage.
Mulaney as Spider-Pig is pretty good. Peter B. Parker. Jack Johnson.
Spider-Man Noir.
Or Jake
Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
Jack Johnson's a musician.
Jake Johnson. Peter B. Parker is like, to me, makes Into the Spider-Verse. You don't have Peter B. Parker. Well, then goes to hell.
Damn,
I love like
that character, and so
I love
one of your
Jewish
like all-time
Spider-Man.
favorite movies just goes to hell if Peter B. Parker's not in it.
It's Peter B. Parker Riot.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work without Peter B. Parker.
Fair. All right, so you need him back.
Understand?
Refresh my memory, Doug. Is that like the slovenly Peter Parker?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen this movie once.
Really?
Doug is offended. Yeah.
His arc is like Miles' arc, Peter B. Parker's arc.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Doug has seen this like 6
Very passionate about this.
Pretty
So what about new
swifty on
characters?
that one, but
Anyone new that you'd like to see?
Willem Dafoe
Doug,
is
I
Green
pose
Goblin.
this to there we go. I mean, we might be getting him in Spider-Man 3,
Please,
based on the
please.
internet. I frankly don't believe it because we would have. I feel like that would have leaked by now, like earlier than just last week.
Dude, all movie companies do is lie to us now. Like,
Yeah,
they've been so good at keeping secrets for the longest time. I believe on the ghost of Stan Lee. I believe that we'll get something of a multi movie villain myself type of deal.
one can hope
I would
because it would
definitely
be
like
pretty
to see.
fantastic.
I'd definitely like to see Mysterio in this
Mm.
version. You know, because it's so stylized with the animation. Mysterio would probably be awesome in 3D.
That's
or
true.
whatever.
that'd be really cool.
It
Yeah.
was fantastic just in the live action sequel
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with the type of stuff they were able to do. His
Yeah.
scenes were by far the coolest visually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those scenes were awesome, especially in 3D.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I'm jumping on that one. Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio's good.
And I'm jumping on Willem Dafoe because
Of course. I mean, obviously.
Both of them.
he's just the greatest Green Goblin.
I mean, Willem Dafoe could play Spider-Man for all I fucking care. I just want him in the movie.
Oh god, that would be terrifying.
I'm Peter.
would-
Peter Parker.
Spider Goblin.
That would be pretty creepy.
Spider sense.
How about Jared Leto's Morbius in cartoon form?
Just bring in all the characters from those other movies. Have Venom in it.
Yeah.
The new Craven, the Hunter one.
course.
All those villains.
Oh,
Force Michael Keaton to have to be involved. It's like, how do I get stuck doing this shit? I'm Batman now.
Bring
Again.
back
he's
Topher Grace.
Batman. Nice. Like he was Birdman, and then he was a Birdman, and now he's a Batman.
Now next year we're gonna get him as Vulture and Batman in the same year in movies. That's pretty
Oh
crazy.
shit, yeah, because he's in
Yeah.
that Morbius thing. Unless
Yeah.
Morbius gets delayed and then
Another year.
jettisoned into the sun.
Just never comes out.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk trailers. So we've got two. We'll start with Reminiscence. This is the new Hugh Jackman one where the world's collapsing and people are basically fucking obsessed with nostalgia and going back in time and reliving memories.
Mm-hmm.
So it's present day.
Yes, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
sounds about
metaphor.
right. It's a metaphor for our current reality.
It takes place about 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. I can believe it.
It's not global warming that got all the seas rising. It's just people forgetting to turn off their faucets and shit. It's just that's just what it is.
Everyone going outside again and leaving their faucets on before they leave.
Damn right.
Yeah, I mean, Doug, you said earlier, it looks like Christopher Nolan light. I think that is very accurate. I got like Inception vibes, but I also kind of get like Prestige vibes from Hugh Jackman. His Angier performance coming back, but yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna watch it, but it didn't get me too hyped. I'm always
Seems
excited to see
interesting.
Rebecca Ferguson and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because she's always reliable. But yeah, they didn't really have a hook that really got into me.
For some reason, it kept reminding
Yeah, I
me
agree.
of Blade Runner. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind
A
of
future vibe.
yeah.
Like film noir almost.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's got that film
Yeah.
noir vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely watch it. I'll give it a shot, but I'm not like super pumped. It's interesting, I guess.
It was very pretty looking, but it just
Yeah.
looked like it held on too much, just like Memba. That's it. It's just like the whole movie's gonna be like, oh, I remember when like the best part of my life was this, and he's like, oh, there's some stuff there that I gotta go take a look at in present day, and then it's just gonna be like nostalgia crap and beautiful like shots.
Member Berry's the movie, like you said.
Member
before.
Berry is the movie for sure. Yeah, it looks like a great movie to be sitting in a movie theater watching, though. It's definitely
Yeah.
pretty. Substance
looks
maybe
pretty.
isn't there, but it definitely
Just no
looks
surprise. I mean, Westworld's a very pretty show.
pretty. Yeah, the first
Something
season
like
did have
pretty themed.
substance, though. I can't
Sure.
say that much
Yeah.
about the rest of them.
I'm a little worried that this is gonna be a little like how Westworld got season 2 and onward.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
cool ideas and concepts, but just like too many of them and trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, you lost me. So we'll see. I'll watch. I'm probably in the group that will watch it. We'll enjoy it visually, but I don't know. I'm not psyched about it.
Yeah.
And it's not my movie in the box office showdown or the box office pool.
It's
So
mine.
I want it to do poorly.
It's gonna do great, but I actually won't need any of that help after Fast and the Furious and Jungle Cruise. They both break the opening weekend record, like in succession. So it's not even gonna matter. The Rock's so hot right now. Fast and Furious can't go wrong.
That's Furious, always hot. All right, and then Old, the new M. Night Shyamalan one. So we talked about this back when we got a little bit of a tease at the Super Bowl, but now we've got a full trailer of it. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Corey?
I actually didn't watch this trailer. I did watch the first trailer. First trailer was awesome.
Think
You
this
say
movie's gonna be any good?
Would you say, Corey? Would you say the Super Bowl commercial is indicative of the second trailer? Like, do you think you get more of the same? Like,
But I didn't watch the second
based on
trailer.
that, no, but like your thoughts on it. Like, you think it was well representative of what we'd get in a second trailer if you saw the second trailer?
Yeah, probably.
If you had
Maybe.
seen the movie,
I don't
do
really
you
understand.
think like this accurately represents that movie
I mean, it's M. Night Shyamalan.
in a hypothetical
It's
world?
M. Night Shyamalan. The trailers never represent exactly what's going on.
No, they don't.
We talked
Okay,
about
so-
this.
All right.
He's the king of the twists.
Okay, so
Or
you're
he
saying
tries
there's a
to be.
twist.
There's a twist involved.
It's M. Night Shyamalan.
They're not really
Maybe the
getting
twist
older,
is
they're
there's
getting
no
younger.
twist.
He's yet to do that yet. Maybe.
Ooh.
Well, they are getting older. We saw the trailer.
Yeah, they get older. Maybe it's
But
not
maybe
them.
like maybe it's a perspective thing, and everyone else is really getting younger. I don't know.
Maybe there's a village.
Everyone else is Benjamin Buttoning.
Maybe there's a village on the island
Mm-hmm.
where people are held in seclusion.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, he's already done that. Maybe
Which
they're
one was
all
that, The
ghosts.
Happening?
No,
No,
it's the
there's the
village.
village.
Oh.
Wait,
The ha-
The
Is
Happening
the
was
water-
with Mark Wahlberg, right? Where like
yeah,
Mother
the
Nature tried to
twist
kill
in the
everyone?
the twist in the happening is that Mark Wahlberg is actually a professional actor, and you find that out at the end of the movie.
maybe they're at a beach, but if they go in the water kills them.
Ooh,
So it's like signs.
wait, no, he already did that. Maybe they're all ghosts.
That's the most believable. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've all been dead the entire
It's a
time they've been on the
it's a
island.
And
sequel.
Bruce
It's like-
Willis
It's like
is
Lost.
Bruce Willis is the only person that's actually alive on that island.
It's a sequel to Unbreakable.
Uh-oh.
They did that already.
You know what I don't
It's a
understand,
sequel.
or I was at least trying to understand. The trailer shows that there's this little girl, and she like turns into an adult, and she's
Mhm.
pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
How'd she get pregnant if she's a little
What if-
girl?
What if the baby is
So
her?
did someone like have sex with her while was she
They're-
raped? As
I
like,
hope
what the
not,
hell-
because they have like
I don't know.
they have like
Like,
children's personalities still based on the trailer. Like the actors look like they're playing young, like personality wise, which is
Like,
kind of
how is she
an
pregnant?
interesting thing.
Dude,
I don't know,
wait,
it feels-
because what if the baby is just her?
it's like the movie takes
And
a
she
dark
gives
turn.
birth to herself. And then she grows old again, gets pregnant, gives birth to herself forever and ever and ever. That'd be pretty fucking cool, actually.
I walk out of the theater at that point.
That'd be pretty
Probably a
cool.
little-
Then I would regret picking this in the box office pool. 'Cause it would be a one weekend
mean,
wonder.
You
Maybe,
take
maybe even just a one night wonder.
you take your chances with M. Night Shyamalan movies. If the twist is horrible, no one's gonna go see it again.
Bro. You live or die by the twist.
You really do. Because what did the village drop off after like the first week?
Oh yeah, that first weekend.
I'm sure it plummeted.
it had
to
a
hell.
it had a pretty nice opening weekend, like 40 million, and then it fell hard after that.
That's the worst one. The Happening just didn't stand a chance because of how fucking bad the acting was, right?
That even had a good opening weekend.
Did it really?
Because it was his first R-rated movie,
Mm.
so like it had that hook to it.
The bees.
And Mark Wahlberg was always fairly reliable.
So crazy.
At the box office back then.
It's crazy.
But yeah, like The Village is a good one. I forget if it might have even made 50 million its opening weekend, and it just fucking fell. I saw the opening weekend, and afterwards I'm like,
you were so angry.
I saw
that
it
sucked.
early too.
Yeah, I think we saw it together because I remember seeing it and being like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Yeah, like I don't know, it's a weird movie. But yeah, we'll talk more about Old next month when it comes out. And any of us have actually seen it. Until then, let's talk about the summer box office, where we stand after 2 weekends of play. So, I had A Quiet Place and Cruella for, I guess, the 2 of my first 3 picks. And they both opened weekend 1 of the summer movie season. So, I have a pretty good lead right now. I mean, big leads don't ultimately mean anything. Anything can change. But yeah, part 2 should easily be the first $100 million movie of the year. That should happen very soon. Despite a big fall in weekend 2. Then Corey, you had The Conjuring 3 this past weekend. So that had an opening basically on par with the last Annabelle film. Probably would have opened better if it wasn't for the pandemic. But 24 million opening weekend. So where we stand after 2 weekends is JP and Doug with a whopping $0.
My movies did terrible this week. What the hell?
Not one person saw them.
God damn it.
Mine
I didn't
too.
even see them.
It's pretty discouraging. But you
gonna
have the rest
bow
of the
out.
summer.
I'm gonna
More movies to come out.
cut my losses.
Corey's got his 24 mil, and I have 132 million. Mostly A Quiet Place. Cruella has somewhat disappointed at the box office. I'm gonna blame Disney for going that premiere access route.
Oh, for sure.
I think they left money on the table.
Yeah. I agree.
As far as theatrical goes.
Did they though?
That was I think so.
Yeah,
I think
you're gonna
more
make at least
parents-
$1 more at least in theaters. You'll make at least $1 more.
I
You
think
might
they
make
were-
more overall on the premiere access.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the interesting thing for Disney is Disney's charging what $30 a pop.
Yeah,
and they keep all of that $30 a pop versus having to split with theaters.
Yeah, and
I'm curious as to whether or not it's like the numbers wind up being more successful for them to do even though they lose it in the box office, if they make enough in being able to pocket the entire chunk of the $30 a pop, that that they may be coming out ahead.
My guess is they don't, just because they've already committed to going fully theatrical by the end of the summer. But maybe at this point in time they are just barely getting more, because of people still not going to the theater as much as they would in like a normal year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, once people start going to the theaters, like, they're gonna be less likely to buy it at home and give them all the money. They're gonna go to the theater for the experience, for the popcorn.
Exactly. Like, I think Black Widow will be the one where they're actually leaving money on the table in Jungle Cruise, where they could have had a family of 4 or family of 5 go to a movie theater and pay more money than just the $30 rental and staying at home. Because I mean, let's say a family of 5 goes to see an IMAX showing of Black Widow. You're looking at what, 60, 70, 80, 90, close to $100
over $100. Yeah.
Probably over 100.
And Disney doesn't get all of it, but they get they're getting at least 50%. So 50 beats 30.
Yeah, and then like someone buys Black Widow and invites all their goddamn friends over.
Yeah.
And they watch Black Widow, and you have a house party of 600 people watching your one Black Widow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I plan to do to sabotage Corey. I'm gonna buy Black Widow and invite 600 people over.
We have to think accordingly with how we're gonna.
I've got Black Widow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. That's what I'm gonna do to sabotage you. I'm gonna put like a projector in my
Black Widow
backyard.
No, for Corey's, you just watch everything on HBO Max.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, I got that. It's free for me, and I get to meet all my neighbors. So You're called, your New Jersey numbers are gonna go down, Corey. Corey's like, why did this movie make $5 in New Jersey? Well, I've been playing it for days.
Drive-in.
But yeah, we'll check back in. If not next week, when In the Heights has its opening weekend, but the week after that.
Who's got In the Heights?
I don't think any. Doug.
I think Doug has it.
Okay.
Yeah, and Peter Rabbit also is next weekend.
I don't start till like July, so
yeah, you start in probably a few episodes from now with F9. So yeah, we'll check back in the next week or two. In the Heights is going to change things a lot.
probably.
I'm expecting a pretty big opening weekend. All right, let's. What was that, Mr. Doug?
Well, no, it's another one where it's going to be available to stream, and so I'm interested to see what effect that has. Kind of like
Saw
what we saw a
Fandango.
little bit.
Fandango did some sort of poll, and 93% of people said this would be their first movie going back to a movie theater.
Wow.
Like for I guess people who haven't gone to the movies yet.
Fandango's still a thing, huh?
Yeah, they've got their weird polls every year, every season. But we'll see. Well, we're gonna change things up right now. We're gonna go straight into our feature presentation. We're skipping our what we watched section this week just because we are only talking about things we've watched.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's all we're talking about.
We watched a lot of shit over the past 2 weeks. There's been a lot of new movies in theaters, a lot of things that have debuted on streaming, either for their first release or they were in theaters and now they're on streaming. Well, in the case of Raya and the Last Dragon, it's still in the top 5 in the box office, and it's streaming for free on Disney Plus. So, yeah, that movie was kind of a little engine that could for the past 14 weeks or whatever that it's been out. But yeah,
I'm curious to hear if that's any good or not, because it didn't look good.
You are about to hear. But yeah, we'll go from newest to oldest with movies, and then we'll go into the Mighty Ducks and finally end things with Loki, since all 4 of us watched that one. But yeah, I guess a few of us have watched, or at least a couple of us have watched each of these things, so we should have some decent conversation. Where's our special guest? Did you go to sleep already? Because we started later.
Like he's sleeping.
Doug, are you asleep?
I texted him.
You frozen?
Oh,
I'm not
he's
frozen.
actually alive.
Yeah.
Good, you're there.
Yeah, I texted him. I just I don't know. Maybe past his bedtime. He goes to sleep earlier than I do, if you can believe it.
That's wild.
He's got to. Yeah, I think the rumor has it there may be another High School Musical coming out, and he's got to get his beauty sleep for that.
True.
So.
That's true.
Well, are you doing stunt double work for this one? Because you guys suddenly look like twins. So unfortunately, we can't show that situation off.
It really is the first time they've ever looked related.
It's fucking so weird. Yeah, no, all it was a hat. Makes all the difference.
It's like the opposite of a celebrity hideout, like when they all wear like a baseball cap and sunglasses to not look like themselves, and Doug wears a baseball cap and suddenly he looks like Zac Efron.
Did the live streaming start working?
Online.
I saw
Twitch is still betraying us.
Yeah, Down Detector still showing Twitches.
Did you guys try like just logging out, logging back in?
Try turning it off and on
pulling
again.
the plug out. Yeah, pulling the plug out, plugging it back in.
That's the typical way to fix things. You just pull the plug out.
Blow on it
It's
like a
in Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah. No, I tried to hack the mainframe.
Blow on it.
I was clicking on all like the little boxes, like in Jurassic Park. Yeah,
You could be a 12-year-old girl and figure out how to hack
right.
into the system.
Yeah, no, it's still.
It's like you're just like it's not hacking.
But check us out next week. We'll hopefully be streaming live on Twitch and YouTube for all you YouTube people out there. Probably watching us right now, or subscribe to us right now. Subscribe to us
If you haven't,
right
please
now.
do.
Follow us on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/live.
We're getting
Getting-
closer to our next milestone, which for us is 50 subscribers.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Whoop,
Just
whoop.
wild. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you comment on this video. Tell us what you like about our stuff. Tell us what you don't like about our
Tell
stuff.
us how much you hate us.
That's
don't
fine
care.
with us. Tell us the ways in which we can improve.
Tell us ways we can get worse. Whatever you want.
That
Talk
would
about
be
it.
that would actually be wild. I would love to hear ways in which we can make a worse product for you. Listen to and watch on YouTube.
So we've got our guest, our special guest.
Hey.
If you watched, I don't know, 8 episodes back, 10 episodes back, he was here for the WandaVision finale discussion. It's Doug's brother, Brian. So naturally, because Loki had its series premiere this week, we've got him back to talk Loki, amongst a lot of other shows and movies that he watched this past week with his brother. So we've got 5 people talking today, which is better than 4. So let's just get going. We got a mix of horror movies, Disney movies, TV shows, all that kind of stuff for this summer content kickoff roundup, as I'm calling it. But we'll start with The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, the 3rd installment in the Conjuring trilogy, and like the 7th or 8th installment in the Conjuring universe, depending on if you think The Curse of La Llorona counts. Or, I'm trying to think, 3 Annabelles, 3 Conjurings, and a nun.
Yeah.
They walk
There's
into a
been
bar.
3 Annabelles.
Yeah.
Does Brahms count?
No.
Son of a bitch.
So yeah, 7. This is the 7th or 8th if you count La Llorona, which Warner Brothers does not.
Which one's that?
It's like I don't know. I never saw it.
Which
Corey,
is
did you see
weird
La
because
Llorona?
I did like pretty recently out of curiosity, and
But-
it ties into the universe pretty literally. So I'm surprised that they're ignoring it at this point.
I saw someone make a point if you're gonna have anything with like something from The Conjuring in it could count. If it's in a Warner Brothers movie, then technically Shazam and Aquaman are part of the Conjuring universe
I guess.
because Annabelle was in both of them.
Wait,
This is true.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I missed that.
So yeah, if they don't count, then La Llorona apparently doesn't count either.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Corey, you got into the series a lot later than I did.
Yeah.
You're probably more, I'd say, warm on the series at this point than I am.
Mhm.
What did you think of this new one?
I actually ended up really liking it, but it was unexpected. Well, the movie was the tone of the movie was unexpected, but I guess before I watched it, I've already kind of set myself up for it to be different. I just didn't know if I was gonna really like how different it was. I ended up liking the movie quite a bit. It was more of a crime drama, courtroom drama type of thing. And it definitely wasn't nearly as scary. The one problem I had with it was that the pacing became a little disjointed towards like the second half because it opened up.
I lost interest in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like I thought the movie started like gangbusters
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
really great exorcism scene.
Mhm.
And stayed pretty strong through the first half an hour when you're dealing with the person who eventually has to go on trial for the crimes he committed
Mhm.
while he's being possessed or whatnot. And then it just sort of kind of like changed directions. And I don't know. The rest of the movie slowly, like I got less interested in it,
Yeah. And
which is the opposite of a Conjuring movie.
yeah. Yeah, the movie definitely, I would say the middle of the movie definitely dipped quite a bit. I still was enjoying it, but I was like, "Oh, this is noticeable." And for me, it picked up a bit right through to the end, but not enough where it put it on like the same level as like the first two. Because, like you said, those movies, there'd be a lull somewhere in the middle, and then it would go crazy right to the end. It would. So it was definitely very different in tone. Even the way that it ended was just very different. to me, I think that it is probably better than most of the spin-offs for me, because it just you still got a lot of like the Warrens. The acting was great. I thought the supporting cast was really really good. Um, the story was interesting for the most part. It just didn't have enough scares, and I think they were just trying to do something different. And also, James Wan not being involved definitely was felt for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it as if I was counting this one as a spinoff, I'd put it at 3 out of 5. And if I was counting, and then just of the overall series, I'd put it as 5 out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely wasn't anywhere near as bad as Annabelle, which I
No.
couldn't even watch, or anywhere as boring as The Nun or disappointing as The Nun.
Yeah.
But the 2 Annabelle sequels I thought were much better,
Yeah.
along with the first 2 Conjuring movies. I think losing James Wan definitely played a part.
Yeah.
But like you said, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, 2 Jersey people, by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty cool seeing the 2 of them.
Hey,
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Patrick Wilson looks like a cross between Bob Odenkirk and Christian Slater in these movies?
I mean, kind of.
Every time I see him on the trailer, I was like, "Holy shit!" He doesn't look. He looks like the 2 of them combined.
I could see that.
Yeah, they definitely dork him down.
He's got the
Bob
Odenkirk hair and the Christian Slater sort of face. I'm not even sure if Patrick Wilson's a real person, honestly.
Well, he was at one of our local movie theaters this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Was he really?
Yeah, introducing the movie.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah,
He's desperate for people
the same
to watch this movie.
the same theater that Brie Larson introduced Captain Marvel for.
Oh Lord!
But she's not even from Jersey, so I don't know why she was there.
Because she's a disagreeable human being, and she
But,
has to be in Jersey.
Yeah, those were my thoughts. I mean, I will see another one, but I think I'm just sort of disengaged with this horror series at this point, which isn't. I mean, after 7 installments, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That it took this long for me to kind of start to lose interest.
I think it'll be interesting to see what they do next. Like, I'm sure they're going to do a spinoff, but if they do another Conjuring movie, because this one was without a doubt kind of just out in left field. They wanted to just do something a little different. People were very vocal, the things that they liked about it and the things that they didn't. I did like the director. I liked a lot of the stuff that he did, but I think the script overall, definitely lost its way a little bit. So it'll be interesting if he comes back and they do, another one. Hopefully, if they do that, it doesn't take this long, to make another Conjuring movie. Because 2 came out in what,
2016. I
2016?
mean, it was delayed a year because of COVID, so
True.
it would have been 4 years. And one last thing I'll say about it is I think I prefer the Warrens as kind of like main supporting characters or co-stars than as the full leads. Because the Conjuring 1 and 2, the families that are getting haunted are basically the stars of the movie.
Yeah.
Warrens don't really show up and do have a major part in the movie until probably an hour into both of them. So I think maybe this one just had a little bit too much of them versus the sympathetic people that you're following that are dealing with all the fucking spooky nonsense. So yeah, that's my final thought on it.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Bo Burnham's new comedy special, Inside. Comedy, I use that word lightly because it is dark. It's one of those type of comedy specials. It was filmed during the pandemic. He filmed it in his house the entire time. He shot the thing himself. He produced it, wrote it, acted in it. It's pretty damn impressive, the types of stuff he does just in one room. I mean, when you're a rich comedian and you have the lighting that you can have and all those types of things, you can make things much more visually impressive than any normal person could if they were in the same sort of situation.
Like us.
Like us.
It was
Or
still
like Bo
unbelievably
Burnham.
creative with what he did.
Yeah, or like Bo Burnham when he was a YouTube guy in 2006. Now he can do a lot more impressive shit.
Dude, I was gonna watch this and I just took one look at it on Netflix and said, "Fuck that, dude! It doesn't look funny. It looks depressing as shit."
It definitely has like some dark shit to it. It also
Yeah.
has some hilarious stuff to it. I mean, it's if you don't like musical type comedy, like you won't enjoy it. Like it's just not for you at
Like
all.
Weird Al.
It has yeah. I mean,
I honestly don't know who the fuck
Yeah.
some of his stuff
Burnham is.
some of his stuff legitimately sounds like Weird Al. But he's not doing parodies.
Yeah.
And he's like it's got like the originality, more of the originality of like Lonely Island, but with like more of the vocal silence of Weird Al, I would say.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean he doesn't do traditional stand up at all, even when he was in front of a crowd. So to be doing it just from his room was just a really interesting way to do it. I mean, the reviews have been like off the charts high. Like every comedian or like just like bowing down.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's for those not aware of who he is, he started as like a YouTuber when he was a teenager back in the early days of YouTube, the mid 2000s. Got signed like by Comedy Central to do specials. Um, and then in the past like 5 years, had like too much anxiety and didn't want to do comedy anymore. Didn't want to be in front of stages, so he's acted and directed movies. And then in the beginning of 2020, he decided he wanted to go back up on stage, and then the pandemic happened. So he recorded a special at home.
People got so creative. Comedians got so creative during this pandemic with these like stand-up shows. People doing it in backyards where people show up in cars. Like I think what's his face? Bert Kreischer was doing shows where he would just sit on the stage and people would show up in cars and just honk at them when they were supposed to be laughing or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
No, that's really cool.
It's insane to do stand-up when no one is there to laugh at you because you have no idea whether it's retained or they're receptive
how do you
to
like
it.
know if it's funny? Like you don't like you typically practice like so much before you ever do like a recording of a special or like even tour it at like big venues. In like cases like this, you're basically just going off your gut and hoping people will connect to it.
It's like recording a podcast. You have no idea if anything you're saying is interesting or not.
Exactly. It might seem interesting to you, but does the world find it interesting? I don't know.
Especially for like a comedian, like a stand-up comedian, like you're playing off of the reactions of the crowd so much.
And especially the fact that they're like the most fragile people on earth.
Yeah, they always seem to be fragile. They always seem to be depressed.
You have to have a certain amount of self-loathing to be a comedian. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's I mean, props to them to do shit like that and just talking to a camera and like, I know this is funny and I'm going to put this out. Fucking good for him.
Yeah. But yeah, this is like Corey and I, we started watching at Memorial Day weekend after like we all went out one night. And it's not the type of special you can watch like when like drunk and stuff like that. Like we probably watched half an hour of it, and then like I watched it completely like sober a couple days later, and it was a completely different experience watching it that way.
I did watch. I watched, I guess maybe the first half again, a couple days later. I never actually finished it, but I thought it was pretty funny. There were some things that I saw that I didn't laugh that much, but for the most part, I thought it was really funny, really creative, and the songs were so catchy. Like the ones that I saw, I caught myself like singing them, for a few days after the fact.
Especially they'll be on Spotify. One. Oh, the Instagram one's classic. I think that's already on like YouTube on Netflix's page, but they'll be streaming on Apple and Spotify and everything on Friday the 11th. So this week.
Cool.
But yeah, it's on Netflix now. Definitely would recommend it if you're into comedy and want to see something new and different in that kind of space. All right, let's touch base on one that I think pretty much everyone here saw. Brian saw, so he's here for this one. A Quiet Place Part 2.
How quiet was it?
It's louder than the first one.
Oh yeah, way louder than the first one.
I'd seen that. Want my money back.
Well, we paid extra money for Dolby Sound, so it was a good investment.
Yeah.
The movie's called
it was
Quiet
Atmos.
Place. Why would you take that gamble?
This guy right here.
Oh, I forgot that Doug is Doug walks into a movie theater. I have this at home.
I mean,
do you transmit in 4K? Because I don't watch in anything under 4K.
highest sound quality for me. Did all of us see
forget
it in
what they
like
call
a
it, like,
premium?
GRX or something is what we saw it. Where
Yeah,
it's
I
like a
saw it
giant.
I saw it in XD. Okay, yeah, so we all went big, which I think is the way to go for this one. I mean, just from the opening scene alone,
Mhm.
I love that prologue. For
It was
those
good.
who haven't seen the movie, the prologue is basically the day that the aliens come down
Mhm.
and start causing shit. So it gets John Krasinski back into the movie. Since I'm spoiling a 4-year-old movie at this point. He dies in the first movie. So you
Whoa.
get to see him back in it since he directed it. He gets to be with his wife again and real life wife Emily Blunt and with the kids. And that's when they introduce you to Cillian Murphy's character. So you find out that they were friends or friendly at least prior to everything going down because he ends up being the male lead of the film. Probably I guess around 20 minutes into it, he factors into it majorly for the rest of the movie. But yeah, what did you guys think in comparison to the first one? Do you like the more wide scope of this one versus just staying at the farm with them the entire time?
I still liked the first one more, but the second one definitely did a little bit more for me in terms of the action. Like, you could tell that the budget was bigger. They, like you said, was bigger in scope. It was just more fun in terms of action. Story wise, it was more of a kind of like a tacked on type of story compared to the first one. Like, it added more to the original, but I don't think I liked it more than the first one. It was more of a companion, it felt like.
Yeah, I don't know that I liked it more than the first one. Like I'm with Corey in that I think the originality of the concept of the first one um kind of makes the first one hold a little bit more of a special place in my heart. But what was really cool about the second one, which I didn't expect, is that the second one felt like a 90s Spielberg, James Cameron action movie,
Yeah.
especially like towards the end, towards
Yeah.
like the big. It kind of felt like to me, and I said this to my wife when we kind of walked out of the theaters. I was like, it kind of felt like what Stranger Things was always trying to capture, but
Like Super
they
8
didn't.
was trying
They
to
didn't.
do.
They didn't have to go
Yeah,
back
exactly.
to. They didn't have to period it to the '90s in order to do it. It just like Krasinski just captured to me authentically like what Spielberg did in the '90s and what
Mhm.
Cameron did, and it just kind of it felt like it captured it without being a ripoff. But there was moments in that movie where I was just like Jurassic Park and there's raptors and they're in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
it did the
Like it
whole
just
like
felt like
multiple action scenes happening at once, like with different groups of people, and
Yeah.
like cutting between like what's going on with both of them, and just heightening the intensity throughout that climax.
Would you say
I would agree with that.
Would you say it's more of an action movie than like a horror thriller type deal, which
Yeah, I'd
seemed
say
like
so.
the first one was? I haven't seen the first
Yeah,
one.
this one's
It
definitely
didn't seem like
more.
my thing.
It's definitely more actiony than the first one.
It
'Cause
has
my
its
wife
tense
loves the
moments for
first one.
sure.
She loves the first one. She loves the tension. She loves the drama and shit. And I hate that. So it
Yeah,
sounds like I might actually like this one more, and she'll hate this more because she
I
hates
think
action.
you'd probably like this one more than the
Because
first
she's
one.
not a fan of action and stuff. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
go
like
see it with
this
her.
one. This one is less like them like
Okay.
hiding than them like running
They're fighting now.
and fighting. No, they legitimately are.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a mix of fighting and like running versus
Wait,
like,
we can kill these
try-
things now. Get the lead pipe. Let's go.
yeah, it like dealing with that kind of situation.
That's awesome.
So I personally like this one more than the first one. I maybe it had the fact to do with seeing it on a bigger screen, and being like the first like I don't know. This felt like the first great movie experience since going back to the movies, since beginning of 2020. So that may have led into me giving this half a star higher than the first one. But I mean, it wasn't like significantly better or anything. I thought they were both extremely strong movies. Who the fuck would have thought Jim Halpert would be throwing out solid sci-fi post-apocalyptic thrillers, two of them
Yeah.
already.
That's almost Captain America, Jim Halpert to you.
Yeah, he was almost
That's
Captain
true.
America.
And almost Batman too.
Yeah, I'd
He's
say
almost
potentially
Cillian Murphy was almost Batman. He auditioned for it.
if
It
the
was almost
fucking
Batman.
if the press doesn't stop pissing off Emily Blunt, maybe he'll be Reed Richards. But every time they ask her about Fantastic Four, she's like losing her mind now.
I mean, she
Yeah.
might as well, right? I mean, she's earned the fact that they shouldn't ask her at all about what
Yeah.
her husband's doing. She's a fucking fantastic actress.
Yeah, no, and asking her too, like, so how about
Right.
Fantastic Four? How about Fantastic? And she's just like, I don't
They
want to talk
should
about
both
this.
be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they always do that, and they're doing it to get a rise out of her too.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure.
You know
Yeah.
she's gonna like, you're gonna piss her off for being the 100th person that asks her about
yeah,
Fantastic
and
Four.
I imagine
Like,
they'll like lose their job if they don't ask about it.
Probably.
yeah, and it's like if she freaks out about it, you're like, oh great, she freaked out about it. I can like write about it now that she just,
Exactly.
Emily Blunt had a meltdown about.
We're gonna be
Fantastic
all over
Four.
the internet.
I'm sorry, Emily. I have to write a
Oh.
clickbaity title like tomorrow about
TMZ.
something. So I'm going to ask you a stupid question.
So we are officially getting a spinoff coming March of 2023. It's directed by Jeff Nichols, JP's relative. And
Oh, God, now they know my name.
we'll censor that part out. Well, they don't know your full name. But yeah, he's a solid director. He's done Mud with Matthew McConaughey. Off the top of my head, I can't really think
I'm
of
sure my dad loves that movie.
some other ones. But yeah, we know Krasinski came up with the story. He's producing it, but he's not directing or writing it, and I don't know exactly like when it takes place or anything like that. But it's in the world of A Quiet Place. It's not going to be A Quiet Place Part 3. I imagine when they do that, it'll be Krasinski directing it again. And yeah, so do you have any interest in this world expanding, or is that just too much for you?
I mean, I'm very cautious because I definitely like the world, but this one definitely seemed like it was just in addition to the first one. So I don't know if they can really expand it, but we'll see.
I mean, aliens invade Earth, right?
Yeah,
It's a lot
that's
of
been
expansion.
confirmed.
It's
The whole
unclear if there's an invasion or what
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
is going on.
They didn't really say.
Crash
Oh.
landing.
Well, I
It is
mean,
a crash landing,
they're there
so-
and they're killing everyone. What's
Yeah,
it?
they're
I guess it
there.
might just be like an
whatever the
isolated
reason is
incident.
of why they're there.
It's been 100-something days, I believe, so far. So
But
like people would have came to the town and saved them if it was just an isolated incident.
What town are we talking? Because
I think so.
I could probably tell you some towns in America where if they get invaded
somewhere
by
in
aliens,
somewhere in New York State.
I tell you if my vacation home gets attacked by aliens, no one's coming to save them for over 100 days. It'll take a lot more than 100 days. I'll tell you that much.
Doug Bryan, any interest in seeing a spinoff?
Probably different answers.
Yeah, I'm down for a spinoff. I like the world. I think what John Krasinski's doing is pretty cool. Brian may have a different take though.
Here,
Yeah, I don't want to be the negative one, but I mean, it's not that the movie was bad. It's just it was kind of short, I thought. And yeah, it definitely captured the suspense. Like I definitely felt that, but it also felt like not a lot happened. Like I felt like I spent like 10 minutes like watching someone exchange an oxygen tank like out of like an hour and a half movie. So like I felt like there could have been a little more going on. And that probably just is personal preference. I'm probably more in the JP camp of like want a little more to a movie than that, but definitely captured the suspense, kind of like what Doug was saying with Jurassic Park and other movies.
You
And
bring up
that's a good point that Brian raised. So
you brought up a really good point. I'll
short
let you talk,
movie.
though. Oh yeah, no, it was short. It was an hour and a half.
I was just gonna say it's comedy level, or like some comedies now are longer than that.
If you watch a Judd Apatow
Um,
movie, it's like half an hour longer than that, at least.
What happened in that movie with like a reasonable amount of detail. You know, they drew it out and yeah, but
Yeah,
probably JP, I wouldn't put it on your watch list.
it kind of reminds me of like the Bourne Identity movies, where like a lot of cool shit happens, but like in these sequels especially, but nothing really advances plot wise. If you like actually like look at where the character was in the beginning of the movie and where he is at the end,
Mhm.
if he like finds out one little piece of detail over like a 2 hour period.
It sounds like the second Star Wars movie, the Ryan Johnson Star Wars movie, where they literally travel like 45 minutes in space, and everything that happens in the middle of the movie has no bearing on the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what. Yeah, I don't think what they ultimately did really made much of a difference in the whole grand scheme of things.
I don't think so either.
It sounds like reality, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do a whole bunch of shit, and it means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things.
It
I
was
guess,
Mhm.
especially when aliens are in your town, killing everyone.
it was very much a small victory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Although they found out information that could be helpful overall.
It sounds like this would be a 7-part series.
It feels like it's like Quiet Place Part 2 of 7 or 8 or 9 or
Well,
10.
because part 1 and part 2 basically take place within like
they're gonna
48
those kids
hours,
are gonna
right?
age very quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Old.
It's gonna be
It's
like the
basically
Shazam
old.
kids.
the son already looked a lot
Yeah.
older, especially in the prologue. I was like, oh, that he doesn't
And
look
this-
the same.
This was filmed prior to COVID, right?
Yeah.
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 Think about like movies like Shazam 2, where they're gonna be like, pick it up 5 days later, and every kid is now aged a year and a half.
Yeah, like this one had
It's gonna be
world-
horrible. They're all gonna be adults. They're gonna have beards and shit.
This one had its world premiere the week before the lockdown, and it was supposed to open like 3 days after the lockdown started. And
wild.
yeah, it finally comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, both those kids are like, it's going to be like ridiculous if there's not a time jump for the third part, because they're both going to be actual adults. I believe the girl already is an adult.
So they're
Which
gonna have
is-
to time jump, yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to. All right. Let's move on to Cruella, which all of us have seen. JP is very excited to talk about this one.
Ah!
So it continues Disney's live action kick. And I guess they have a little bit of a thing going where they try to rehabilitate villains and show them their backstories. They did it with Maleficent. But yeah, now we've got Cruella DeVille. We get to see her relationship with Dalmatians, and everything like that. Who would like to start?
Did anyone dislike
think
this
JP's
movie
kind of
other
chomping at
than
the
me?
bit.
From what I understand,
I
I believe Brian
I
liked
loved
this one
it.
more than A Quiet Place. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
I think I'm more in the JP camp. I think JP and you and I are probably more
I
more
think
aligned out of this group.
so.
Where
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I like
was-
I was not. I did not love it.
It
Or
was
even
just
love it.
so like get this movie away from me. First of all, can we talk about CGI dogs and how they should never be in another fucking movie ever again? Especially when they don't do human-esque things. Can we just have dogs in a movie?
Yes, you should always
That was
just have
horrible.
dogs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the dog was
that
kind of
bad.
creepy.
They were all really bad because they were all CGI.
I actually didn't notice it until
The worst I thought was her little dog that.
Oh, her
followed
little
around,
dog
'cause-
was really bad, but the Dalmatians were in
I
that
thought the
first scene,
Dalmatians were the worst.
and that the most absurd character death I've ever seen in my entire life. I almost turned it off after that. They were really bad.
There
And
is a
then-
video online of them putting on Baja Men who let the dogs out and knocking
Let the
Cruella's
dogs out.
mom off.
And the dog's just like,
Disney took it down, of course.
Of course.
yeah, copyright.
Yeah. I have a hard time just organizing all my thoughts on this movie. A lot of them are really bad. This movie is The Devil Wears Prada and Joker combined.
Yeah, no, that's
It is a
sounds
complete
like an
ripoff of
excellent
both
movie.
of those movies.
I think
It
that sounds like
definitely
something
is.
I would like to watch and did.
I thought Emma Stone's British accent was absolutely fucking horrible. I may be the only one, but I just
Nah, it wasn't great, but
I thought it was great.
her performance to me wasn't the part I didn't like.
no. I
thought-
mean,
I
it
thought
didn't
she was the
detract from
highlight
it.
of the film. I thought she was fun. I think if you're gonna give Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar for Joker, then like just because he's all depressing and shit,
I don't
like,
think
I thought
Joaquin
this
Phoenix.
performance was more fun.
That's
was
the thing,
better
though, is
than
I
Joaquin
don't think
Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix deserved an Oscar for Joker at all.
Yeah,
Because it's just like a weird, edgy movie. I don't know. What do you guys like about this movie? I would really love to know that. Is it the soundtrack? Because the soundtrack hurt me on like a.
Before we go on the negativity, or before we go on the positivity train, can we go on the negativity train and just talk about
Sure.
how when movies are
Let's
just
go,
like,
Doug.
yeah, movies are just like this couple of minutes of plot, and then we're gonna play like some song that you've heard.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna blare it, and it's gonna be like a song that everyone loves, and then a couple minutes of plot, and then we're gonna blare the song
So,
again. It's just like
It's driving
it just
me
took me out.
nuts.
Doug, would you say it was like Orange County in that way? Remember
Yeah,
how you
probably.
were like, there's probably 30 minutes of acting and like 30 minutes of just music in this movie.
But it works in a comedy
It kind of felt
in the 90s or in the early 2000s, but not in a drama set or a drama made in 2021.
The movie was too long. I would say that was my biggest gripe.
Yeah,
with
that-
it.
Way too long.
Yeah, that was gonna.
There's
be
no
my-
reason you need to have a 2 hour and 15 minute.
Yeah,
I
it
fast
Disney
forwarded
origin story.
very long.
45 minutes, and I don't think I missed a single fucking thing.
Yeah.
I fast
Probably.
forwarded from like the fashion show to when she confronts the Baroness. And I don't think there was a single thing in there that I missed,
I don't know.
other
for
than
me-
maybe reconciling with her goons.
Yeah. For me, it was. I wasn't
Probably
expecting
right.
a lot. I just thought it was fun. It was really entertaining. I thought Emma Stone was great. I really liked
The
The
guy
actor
from
from Richard
Cobra
Jewell.
Kai.
Yeah, and Cobra Kai.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, he was great. The musician who played the other musician actor who played the other
Joel Fry.
goon. Yeah, he was great.
Is he a musician?
Yeah,
That's why they were singing
musician
in that one scene.
slash actor type of
I
thing.
thought
don't know what he did first.
Emma Thompson was really good.
Yeah, she was a good
um,
villain, surprisingly.
I felt like the
She
best.
was
Like,
great. I thought
he
she
did
did. She did.
the
awesome.
She was the
battle
best
of-
part of the
like,
movie to me.
It was the battle of the Emmas. Like that was what the movie essentially was, and like they both like, I thought did a good job with what they were supposed to be doing. And it was fun to watch them fight.
Emma Thompson was fantastic in it. I thought she was really good. They completely wasted fucking what's his name? I'm blanking on. I have the
Mark
whole
Strong.
Mark Strong.
Mark Strong.
Mark Strong.
Yeah,
They completely wasted.
yeah.
I was wondering
I
why
was super
he was
disappointed.
for like 2 hours. I was like, why is he in this movie?
It took
And
me 45 minutes of looking at him like, is that actually Mark Strong? Like, because he hasn't said a word. I'm looking at him, and sure enough, it was. And it's just like, such a waste. Why would you even?
I
What
don't
do you
know
do?
how you're going to get from this Cruella to the one who's killing Dalmatians.
You're not good.
So like
That's what I don't
apparently
understand.
they're saying there's gonna be a sequel. Like the creative's coming back. Like the director, the writer, Emma Stone, obviously. But I don't know how you get from like that Cruella de Vil to the animated one or the Glenn Close one even.
It's gonna be a more like sympathetic villain or something stupid.
Yeah, like more like
I think I
anti-hero type
found the
villain.
link.
The sympathizing villains thing just
Oh,
doesn't work.
Here, Brian's link.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, I agree. It's tough to pull off sympathetic villains, especially when everyone tries to do it nowadays.
Especially when they're all mustache twirling evil villains from movies from 1950 something.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to accept this as an alternate reality version of Cruella de Vil, and she's not going to ever kill puppies, then like,
I don't want.
and it's just a different character.
Then make a different movie, you know?
Yeah. Well, Brian, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, so in the movie they talk about like I'm trying to figure out how to not to spoil it, but
spoiled
she
a lot of
basically
movies so far.
alludes. Okay, she basically alludes to the fact that she's going to inherit the kind of the mentality of her mother. So I don't know if you caught that, but her mother was murderous, right? So I think they were saying that like she still has time to turn into that, and that deep down inside of her she's going to become that. So I don't know if you caught that link. It was like a one-liner, but I think that that's what they're referencing, and they're using the villainous character almost as like a model for what Cruella is going to be.
They allude to her killing the dogs on more than one occasion too. So she says it to the Jasper character.
Yeah, it makes a joke
if we
about
have
doing
to kill the dogs, and then she makes the coat out of Dalmatian-esque fur.
Fake, yeah.
So I mean, she clearly has the potential, but they've made it so that the Dalmatians are her friends' dogs, and she set them up to meet each other, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Odd twist.
So dumb.
She's also so likable. Like, how are they going?
How is she likable? She was like the least likable character to me,
Emma Stone?
but not like she's evil
Cruella?
way.
No.
I fucking didn't like her. I just thought she was.
She was more likable than Cruella in 101 Dalmatians.
100%.
Fucking psychopath.
Yeah, like comparing like
drown dogs so she can make a beautiful fur coat or whatever the fuck her like plot line was.
She was definitely more likable.
Her mom.
I think it ultimately comes down to Emma Stone. Just either you find her incredibly charming or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
I find her incredibly charming. So like
Murph.
this was like basically fucking catnip for me.
I don't. I'm in
But
that.
If I didn't, then I could definitely be like, "Fuck this."
See, I don't find Emma Stone charming, but I'm not like, oh, she's the most evil person in the world. I can see her killing dogs. I just don't really like Emma Stone. I'm like super lukewarm on her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the number 2 is going to be good. I think they're setting it up pretty well to basically have her turn into her mom. Her mom tried to kill her, right? So it's not inconceivable to say that she would turn into someone who would kill Dalmatians, right? And if it's for her career and whatnot, like I think it'll be a pretty easy tie-in. And it felt like throughout the show, throughout the movie, she was like holding back her like what she wanted to be. Like she would be really mean to her goons, and then like she'd like realize what she was doing and be nice. And like I just think that that's going to evolve into her turning into that exact character.
So, did they do a straight adaptation of 101 Dalmatians next?
They
I don't
can't.
think so. Yeah.
I heard one thing or a reporter kind of pitched the idea to Emma Stone and Emma Thompson during like a junket or whatever about doing like one where both Emma Stone and Glenn Close are in it. So it's like a Godfather Part 2 type of situation where it's telling like 2 storylines with both of them, and they were like all in on that idea.
A multiverse of
I know Glenn Close wants to come back. I don't know like if that's the route to go instead of like the 101 doing an adaptation of 101 Dalmatians.
This was
I-
definitely.
I never even
What-
bothered to see 102 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
No,
Back in
I
the
mean,
day.
why would anyone?
Yeah. This was definitely way better than anything they did with Maleficent.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
I've
first
seen the
one-
first Maleficent, and I
first
thought it
one
was
was not good.
actually better than this because I thought it
Yeah?
was
Wow.
it was just a straight fantasy movie. I hate I hate just like the sympathizing villain thing, but at least it fit. This I really didn't like because this was. I'm actually shocked that they didn't put a smartphone in her hand and set this in modern day because this was set in what, the 70s.
Yeah, I mean they did it so they can do like the whole fashion in England at the
I
time.
hated it so much because the first one's the original 101 Dalmatians set were like what, 1910 or something weird.
I don't know.
I thought it was.
I know
it was
the movie
very
came
turn
out
of
in
the century.
The movie came out in the 60s, but I don't know when it took place.
I thought it was set like very turn of the century. I may be wrong.
And then I
But-
think that the 90s one took place in present day, right? In the 90s?
Yeah, because that's like the fever dream of nightmare 90s movies where
Yeah.
they make things in present day where people dress like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
It's 1999, and it's God. Those movies are fucking horrifying. But I don't know. I didn't like it. There were some redeeming qualities, I guess, but overall, this was like such a forgettable movie for me.
And I did love the soundtrack. I thought they
Oh my god!
I thought they went all out on like
It was
spending big bucks on that soundtrack.
so distracting,
Which I just didn't expect.
Yeah,
There was maybe 35 songs in that movie. Was there
there were a lot.
was there a single composed song in the entire movie? Because I couldn't
At
tell
the
you
end,
if
there was a
was.
Cruella song,
And
I
I
think.
Just
yeah,
One
but
of the
that was
credits,
from,
I heard
that
a
was
Cruella
from
song.
that was from the original
Yeah,
movie.
that was from the original movie.
Oh, really?
So there was like legitimately no composed songs in it. It was just like Cruella's doing stuff. Play this song from the 60s.
Yeah.
That was so distracting. That drove me nuts. It drove me nuts from the
That
get-go,
drove me nuts too. Like, yeah, that drove me nuts too. Where it's just like, come on, like, I found it took away from the movie because it was just kind of distracting when you're just like blaring over everything. Like, here's a song that everybody loves, and we know everybody loves it.
It sounds like they're compensating.
It just didn't feel like every time like a song would come on, I'd be like, this just doesn't feel like a Disney movie, and I thought it was like kind of cool.
Like
You were the
just
sucker
pandering
that
to
they
children.
did that to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude. If you got like a 12-song soundtrack that's just like bangers throughout, I'm all about that. But when you have like a 35-song soundtrack in a movie that's how long is this movie? An hour and 45 minutes?
Oh, it's over 2
like
hours.
over
2
2
hours,
over 2
and
hours.
15
Almost-
minutes.
Yeah, it's almost 2.5 hours.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Musicals have less songs than this movie did.
There are a lot of
That's
songs.
my biggest.
If I would nitpick with the songs, is that they didn't pay for the original come together from the Beatles, and they used the
Yeah.
cover when they
They
used original.
didn't
songs
pay for the
everything
original.
else.
A lot of the songs. A lot of
Really?
the songs were complete fucking ripoffs. Yeah.
Well, I thought they were like legit.
No.
legit versions.
No. A lot of the songs were covers. It was, and that wasn't even the distracting part to me. I was just like, I'm so tired of hearing not modern songs, but like,
Yeah, I mean, it was
popular
modern
songs.
for when it came out,
yeah.
or for when it takes place.
No, it was time period. It was sort of time period esque. They used like that was the passage of time was we're gonna play songs from this era and this era.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
suddenly the fat guy is punk now. And it's just like, no, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of problems with this movie for me on a personal
That
level.
was a definite grade for me. So one of the things I thought was kind of, if I'm going to speak positively about the movie, I thought the camera work was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was filmed well for sure.
The costumes were good.
Yeah, the costumes were.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a
Very
movie
good.
that's
Yeah, no, they had
predominantly about fashion, you might as
impressive
well have a
costume
good
design.
costume designer. Yeah. I didn't like that she powdered her face every time she became Cruella. That was very Joker-esque.
Well, that was the Joker, yeah.
It
Call me
really is.
Cruella.
It's so Joker.
She had to
And
make
it's
it so people couldn't
so-
recognize her.
Yeah.
And she's just like vandalizing things and driving around. And didn't she like jump on the back of a garbage truck for a while?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she had like a garbage. She had like a garbage
Oh.
dress.
Doug, you are right that there was a original song, "Call Me Cruella," during the credits. JP and I were talking about the one during the mid-credits
Cruella
scene.
DeVille.
Yeah.
Cruella DeVille. Yeah.
Oh no, I watched during the credits and I was like, oh, okay, there was a song here. It's just one of those like we're only gonna play it during the credits.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
Florence and the Machine song.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
This song just like checks all negative boxes, or this movie checks all negative boxes for me. Oh Lord.
All right. Well, Brian, we'll be excited for the sequel when it eventually.
Yeah, I
comes
mean,
out.
be excited for the sequel by all means. Like just this movie was not for me.
Yeah.
It
All right.
honestly gave me very similar vibes to like Wicked. Like, you know, I guess Maleficent too. Like it just gives you that like, you know, understanding of a character and how they came to be the way they are from like a villainous standpoint.
I actually read one tweet this past week that was like, you can just watch these Disney movies, and it had like 4, 6 posters of Disney movies, and see just how pissed off they are that they didn't buy the rights to Wicked. And it was like Maleficent, Cruella, Oz, the Great and Powerful, and a few other ones, which I guess is a recurring theme for them. I didn't see most of the movies they showed in that, and I have never seen Wicked. But it's funny that you said that because other people have noticed that.
I just think that the Wicked Witch of the West is probably a more sympathetic character than someone who buys and murders dogs to make coats.
Yeah, nobody likes a dog killer.
I mean, I don't even care about like. Don't get me wrong. I killing dogs is horrible, but
oh god, what are you gonna say?
She's just like such a fucking cold and asshole-ish character. Whereas the Wicked Witch of the West has an agenda. She wants something. She's willing to get them at all costs. Whereas Cruella is just like some sociopath, like asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like you can redeem someone that's just like trying to do their best to get, I guess it's the slippers for the Wicked Witch of the West. And like reclaiming, is it like a throne of witches? I have no fucking idea about the Oz universe, but she's like, I don't know. She's not like a random psychopath that's murdering animals.
Yeah, she definitely has an agenda.
You
I
know?
don't remember what it is.
Same thing with Maleficent.
Is more like Loki. Like
same thing with Maleficent. Maleficent's not just like some random psychopath that just murders shit just to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's like pissed off about stuff.
I'm willing to bet though, like they're not going to make the transition
like
her
that,
being
obviously.
random. Yeah, they're
course.
They're going to give her an agenda. It's probably something to do with fashion and her career.
That's like so counterintuitive to the original source material. That's all I'm saying is that like you're taking source material that's actually newer than Wizard of Oz, and you're trying to justify it in a way that just doesn't make sense. I mean, Wizard of Oz was written in like early 1900s.
Yeah. Well, we are supposed to get a Wicked adaptation in the next like year or two. So
that'd be cool. I'd watch that.
We'll see how that one turns out when it comes out. All right, let's pivot to Raya and the Last Dragon, another Disney film, for free on Disney Plus now. Still in theaters as well, if that's the way you prefer to see it. Who's seen this one? Doug and I. Brian, did you see this one too? All right.
Tell me about the dragons. Or the dragon.
It's Awkwafina. So
I'm out. Bye.
I don't know if I knew it was her either until
God, she doesn't do the thing.
If I had forgotten, like once she talked, I knew it was her.
Thing. Okay,
but like when I
the dragon talked, I was like,
that's the dragon is Awkwafina.
I didn't. I don't think I knew that she was the voice of the dragon until I was watching it, and then I was like, "Oh damn!
Holy shit!" Eddie Murphy as a dragon, Awkwafina as a dragon.
They're both themselves as dragons.
Which one works better as a dragon?
Eddie Murphy, but I think I like this movie more than Mulan.
Oh wow!
But
That's wild.
Eddie Murphy better as a dragon.
Oh
'Cause
shit!
Mulan's a great movie.
I don't.
I just found out
I only
that
saw
Mulan
I only saw
Mulan
Mulan last year for the first time.
is Fennec
The cartoon, right?
from
You're talking
fucking
about?
Yes.
Mando.
Ah,
I had no idea. Also, Fennec from Mando,
shit, I didn't know that either.
Chun-Li from Street Fighter 1994.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Yep.
wild.
She
Yeah.
looks about 3 years older in
Yeah.
fucking Mando,
Mm-hmm.
and she's about 60 something. I think she's late 50s, early 60s. It's insane.
Yeah, she was also in Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
That blew my mind the other day that she was the voice of Mulan, Chun-Li.
That is crazy, especially Chun-Li.
Yep. That drove that.
She's
like,
talented. She's like a talented martial arts.
she's a
and
great
everything, so
martial
she-
artist, yeah. And
Yeah.
she has apparently taken care of herself to the point where she doesn't age.
Yeah, that's
So.
impressive. That's very impressive. And
for
she
her.
can do those same type of roles.
Fucking right.
That's wild. But yeah, I mean, the big difference between this and Mulan, I mean, they're completely different stories, but
That's
is no music in this versus music in Mulan. And I like the songs in Mulan.
Well, they've shied
Um,
away from musicals in Disney.
They have. It seems like you get one for every 3.
Yeah.
You'll get a Frozen, but then you'll get a Wreck-It Ralph and
They're
some Raya and the
diversifying.
Last Dragon,
They're trying to spread their cards out.
or a Big Hero 6. But then you also get a Tangled,
Oh yeah.
one
True.
of those other ones that does have songs, or Moana.
They'll steal a Pixar movie and put songs in it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, this movie was essentially 3 Avengers movies like combined into one. I said this to Doug, and he's like, "Yeah, I definitely saw Infinity War and Endgame." Where what you're saying with this, but it has also got elements of the first Avengers movie too, because it's like a bunch of different types of people having to come together, like one person from each like type of like group. So they're combining, becoming a team. So like it also had that first Avengers feel to it.
Is this set in like Japan or China? Or is this in like
Where does it take
America?
place, Doug? I'm not. No, it's
Is this like clans
it's
coming together?
somewhere in Asia.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a. It seemed like
It's like a fake land.
fictional-
So it's like a bunch of clans coming
Yeah.
together and doing
Yeah.
stuff. That sounds cool.
But yeah, you also like there's basically the big bad of this movie is like this smoke type of thing that turns people into rocks.
The smoke demon,
Yeah,
smoke monster from
and-
Lost that makes an appearance.
exactly. And then they need to recover these stones that got dispersed among like 5 different clans and combine them. And by doing that, they have the power to defeat Thanos and bring everyone back from not dust but stone. So it got a lot of Endgame elements and Infinity War elements to it.
So I thought it reminded me of something a little different. Avatar: The
What?
Last Airbender.
I've never seen it. It's like
And-
you're probably
okay.
right. Tell me how you,
Because that's all different. That's all different clans.
Okay.
And the Avatar has to kind of go to all the different clans. Very similar concept, and I thought it had a little quiet place in it with like these things that both have the same weakness. So I won't spoil it, but
True, actually,
yeah.
I didn't put those two together. Funny because they're on the same week.
yeah,
We saw them like days apart from each. Like the next day, I think we saw Raya and the Last Dragon.
And it was good. Like it was visually pleasing. I will say, like it was very visually pleasing, but I don't know. It just didn't like capture my attention. Doug, I know you felt the same, right? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't love this one. It was a very like middle of the road cartoon for me. One, like you said, Murph, the music to me just didn't stand out at all. It was very forgettable. Whatever music was in the background, like none of it stuck with me. You know that Aquafina as a dragon, like she was fine. Didn't really add
she was
anything
fine.
to the role for me.
Yeah, the dragon really wasn't that important.
A lot of her stuff. There was a lot of stuff where it like felt like it was supposed to be funny, but I didn't find myself laughing. and I want to say that has more to do with the script and the material versus Aquafina. Just like didn't resonate with me. The stuff where she was supposed to funny dragon. I didn't find anything she had to say very funny.
They probably should have went all out with her character and just went genie style and just like let her like go wild. Because she
Yeah.
seemed very tame. Like,
She was very, very tame.
yeah,
Well, they rectified
And I just
that
like
for
wasn't really
Shang-Chi.
into that.
that's true. That's
Seems
from
like
what we've seen so far. The voice cast was solid though overall. Han from Fast and Furious is in
Yeah.
it.
I love that.
Jin from Lost, Daniel Day Kim.
Oh, really?
I should say these people's names. Sung Kang from Fast and Furious. Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars, from Last Jedi, and the other one she plays Raya. Who else
Oh,
we
wow.
got?
She's the main character.
Yeah. Gemma Chan, who's gonna be in Eternals. She was the one who does the narration in the Eternals trailer from Crazy Rich Asians. I didn't realize there was like a co-lead / nemesis in this movie also. I don't even like remember it. The trailers really didn't show like much of this story, I feel like. Because it was definitely was a lot different and had like a lot more surprises than what I was expecting from the film. But yeah, no, good solid voice cast. What's the girl from from Grey's Anatomy and
Sandra Oh?
yeah, Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh is great.
She was in it as well.
My wife
so-
has the biggest crush on Sandra Oh on Earth.
Oh,
That's the
from
other
Killing-
show
Killing
with
Eve?
the.
Yeah, I was
Well,
trying
no,
to. I'm like, what?
from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, okay.
But then also Killing Eve, and also anything she's ever done on Earth. Like my wife is the biggest Sandra Oh fan on Earth.
Yeah, she was one I didn't even realize till after that it was her.
Sandra Oh's
She's
great.
She's in Invincible as like a voice actress as well.
Really?
Invincible,
Gotcha.
she's the wife. She's the mother. Invincible.
Yeah, the
She's
one
wonderful.
voice I was able to tell that I didn't know was in it was Daniel Day Kim. Like he was played Raya's dad, and like right away I was like, oh, fucking Jin, my man.
He
But
was
yeah,
so good and Lost.
for
Yeah.
Disney of the past 10 years, I thought this was a good one. Because I think they're very hit or miss over this past decade. With their animated films, they're not like as strong as Pixar or anything like that. But this one I thought was better than like a low tiered Pixar one.
That's good. Yeah,
so-
Disney's been like milking that Frozen
That's
train
all
for
we
a
have
while.
That's the bar.
Is this better than Cars?
Yeah, it's better than Cars.
Okay.
Well, I feel like we've taken the bar and we put it down. We've lowered it pretty far.
On a scale of 1 to Cars.
And the Last Dragon can like.
I mean, I liked it more than like Frozen. I
I-
guess Frozen's. I mean, I don't
I never
really
saw the
remember the
second
first
one.
one.
The first Frozen
Nah,
wasn't
yeah,
bad.
just-
I like the first one.
Thank
The
you
second one
there.
I haven't seen.
I definitely thought it was better than Frozen 2. I don't really remember the first one.
I haven't seen Frozen 2. I had to see Frozen 1 at a birthday party.
Frozen 2, I think.
Pretty good.
Frozen 2. That's Doug's
That one song
4K test engine.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he watches to show off the power.
Yeah, Frozen 2 looks.
It's
great
a
in 4K.
cartoon. Like, wouldn't you want to see like
Pretty looking one.
real human beings?
I guess it doesn't.
Doesn't
If you're
matter.
gonna watch HDR with the super nice colors, then it probably would be better to watch a animated movie.
Fair enough.
Or a CGI, a recent CGI animated movie.
Animated movies look great in HDR.
Fair
Um,
enough.
all right.
I just buy TVs that are cheap.
Well, it's Disney, so you get to watch it in Dolby Vision.
Well, also, yeah, on Disney Plus.
I
That's
have
also one of Doug's qualifiers.
I have a 1.1 surround sound system. Actually, it's
There you go, that one
1.0.
speaker is really.
It's actually 1.0. Sorry, there is no subwoofer.
I was gonna
involved.
say.
I have a 5.1 surround sound system. I just have never set it up in this house.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
let's
Is that
pivot.
what you, Doug?
See,
Yeah, he's crying now.
Doug,
I can't
Doug
even
and I
pivot
with
because
our
he's so emotional right now.
Doug and I with our Sonos setups.
I have 2 lovely Edifier speakers sitting on my desk right now.
Those are nice.
I have Edifier speakers from
I
my
think
record
we have the
player.
exact same speakers.
Oh, nice.
Those are nice.
They're the wood ones on the side with the black in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They're quite nice.
Fancy.
They take up a lot of real estate on my desk. I don't use them.
You should start.
I do when I listen to power metal and get drunk while I plan for D&D. So
There you go. All right. So that's it for movies, but we got 2 TV shows to talk about: Mighty Ducks, Game Changers, and Loki. We'll start with Mighty Ducks. So we talked about this one after the season premiere. Maybe it was after the first 2 episodes. Corey and I had watched it. Corey ducked out of the show, not because he didn't like it, just because he's terrible at watching shows.
So terrible. And I'm a huge Mighty Ducks fan. And I
what was the one show that Corey needed to finish watching? You ever finish
Boys.
The Boys?
Nope.
Still haven't finished The Boys.
God damn it, Corey!
Holy shit.
I will eventually. It
No!
will happen.
Corey, when are you going to watch it? Before season 3 airs? Because you said you were going to watch season 2 before season 2 ended.
I don't like being pressured. I'll watch it when I feel like it. I actually forgot that it existed, in all honesty.
God damn, dude.
All
God
right.
damn it, Corey. God damn it.
I'm trying to remember
But-
if I watched the first episode or not. I don't know.
I think you watched 1 episode.
I might.
But Mighty Ducks Game Changers. By the end of it, Doug has watched all of it. He got into it maybe 3 episodes in. He started catching up on it. Brian, I know you saw the finale. Did you see any other episodes?
I was watching as they came out.
Oh, there you
I
go.
was a fan.
My man. All right. So ultimately, I think we can all agree that this show was way better than it had any right to be and better than we expected. It felt like a worthy companion piece to the movies. I mean, in my opinion, it's better than Mighty Ducks 3. I wasn't
dude.
I wasn't a fan of that one. But I would say, I mean, as a product, it might even be better than D2. As an entire thing. It's not better than Mighty Ducks.
Did it spawn an
now
NHL
I'm
uniform
curious.
yet?
It has not yet spawned an NHL franchise. But you never know. Maybe it will in the future.
This might be
Although
better
I
than
think
D2?
the Don't Bothers would be a terrible name for an
Wait,
NHL team.
Is that the name of the team?
Yeah.
That is the name of the team.
Yeah.
Which Doug and I agreed was the worst part of the show.
I'm
was their
so
team name.
out. I'm so out on that team name.
Yeah, terrible
Yeah,
team.
that's not great.
And
But
they
yeah,
stick with that for the
I'm not gonna
the season?
spoil.
You have
Yeah.
to watch it, Corey.
You're spoiling everything else.
They do. It's their name.
Wow.
It's
That's
through
terrible.
episode 10. It's their name, yeah. Which is the season finale.
That's really bad.
But yeah, no, I mean, Doug, you would probably say it was better than all 3 of them. I know you weren't a big Mighty Ducks fan.
There's no way it's better than 1 or 2.
No,
There's just, I
it's
can't
not.
see it.
It's not better than the first one, and then I don't remember the second one enough. But it's not better than the first
Second one is
I
also
thought you didn't
a
like
masterpiece.
I thought you didn't even like Mighty Ducks.
I love Mighty Ducks, but it's the first one's enjoyable.
Is the
All right.
dentist in it? Because if the dentist isn't in it, then it's not better than 2.
No, the dentist is not it.
How does this stack up against something like Cobra Kai?
Good question.
That's a great question. Cobra Kai's better because Cobra Kai's more adult.
Okay.
Like
In
ultimately,
terms
the
of, like,
Mighty Ducks
continuing
is
the legacy.
still a kids show.
But like in terms of continuing the legacy,
I'd say it's still a little too early to say because it's going most likely it's going to have a second season, and they've yet to bring the heavy hitters back.
Okay.
Like they haven't brought back Joshua Jackson. They intend to bring him, Keenan.
I'm sure he's doing fucking nothing right now.
Wasn't he supposed to be in this season? But there was like a
There was a
mix-up
lot
with
of people that
COVID
were
and
supposed
stuff.
to be in it, but COVID like limited it. 'Cause, like,
Are they gonna bring Goldberg back?
Oh,
they
God.
have said in interviews if he stays healthy, then
Good.
will be welcome back.
He looks like shit though.
He almost
it had
died.
It had, other than Emilio, they had 6 of the original Ducks from the first 2 movies.
Did
in the
Emilio just pop in and
whole
pop
season.
out? Whole season. Okay,
He's
so
a, yeah,
it's
he's a regular.
This is,
So he's very Johnny. He's got Johnny Lawrence elements to him.
that's what I'm gonna ask. Is that like so? You had in Cobra Kai season 1, you had Johnny Lawrence, you had Daniel LaRusso. From season 1 of Cobra Kai, I felt like it just did the legacy well.
Your Daniel LaRusso in this is the Mighty Ducks team.
Okay, so it's just random people.
They're the dicks.
Hmm.
Like the Mighty Ducks are the villains.
Gotcha.
And
They're just assholes.
yeah, they're like the hotshot team where like winning is everything. The kids have to practice all day, and like it's not about having fun or anything like that.
What's the mix of Mighty Ducks that they bring back? Like season, like Mighty Ducks 3, 2. Do they bring anyone back from the first season?
Oh, from like the original movies?
Yeah, like the original movies.
Yeah, it's 5 characters that were in all 3 of them, and 1 that was in 2 and 3.
Okay.
So brings back
Well,
it
is
brings back
Averman?
brings back Averman, brings back Fulton Reed, aka Foggy Nelson from Daredevil.
Hey, holy shit! I
Yeah.
did not put that together until right now. He got fat. Good for you, dude.
Yeah,
Good for
he
you.
got fat and then he lost weight too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he looks a completely different human being.
Yeah.
Wow.
They bring back Connie and Guy, the couple from those movies.
Yep.
Brings back Kenny Wu from the second
Right.
one.
Nice.
And
Woo,
Doug, who's the one I'm missing?
He was not prepared for this.
I'm not the right person to ask that question.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
I have to look it up.
Do they bring back the Hawk or the what's his name? I forgot. Who joins the team?
Oh, brings back Banks.
Yeah, there you
Thanks. Okay. All right.
go. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they want to bring back like pretty much everyone by the time this is said and done. I mean, it's got the original writer of the 3 movies. He's involved in it. So they're trying to make it as like faithful to the originals as possible. Got the music and everything like that. They don't overuse it.
Yeah.
You got some Flying V.
Of course. You
Why?
knuckle puck?
No knuckle pick.
They're gonna learn it
Knuckle
though.
puck.
When
they
he
got
comes back, they're gonna learn
You
it.
got some new tricks and things like that. Some that aren't that good.
Do they have like new Bash Brothers?
Um,
They got it. It's a
No,
hockey show.
I mean, no, I wouldn't say
They don't have a goon?
No, yeah, no
I
goons.
guess the female.
I was gonna say, are the girls
characters-
like the 2 girls like
It's
the
so
closest?
it's so progressive. You might as
Um,
well do it.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure if anyone is into like the Defenders and they
They have
talk about
this-
knocking people around.
They have this great hockey move where you close your eyes and you just
That-
feel
yeah,
the
that was-
puck.
that was the worst
Oh
part.
my god.
That was the
You should-
stupidest.
You should never close
And
your
they-
eyes in a fucking ice rink.
They close their eyes and like the whole other team is like, "Oh my god, what are they doing?" Like,
What is it, like
freak out.
Dragon Ball Z?
How do I defend this?
It sounds like an anime. Like they're closing their eyes and everyone's like, oh! He just
Basically.
runs away.
Yeah, basically.
Yikes.
They just throw their sticks.
The
Wait,
so-
the
open your
movies were
eyes.
always like that though. He hits the knuckle puck and everyone just runs away from it like it's on fire or something. It's legitimately just spinning.
how did you guys think the kids were overall? Did you think they got less one-dimensional as the season went on?
They're solid.
They're pretty good. There was like the whole 40, right? I mean, we can't get around the fact that it's just a very corny show.
Without a doubt.
There's a lot of like, manufactured drama where it was like, oh
Hell
my
yeah.
god, so and so did this, and it was like whole team, let's have a team meeting, and like this person anymore for the whole episode, and like the stuff like that.
How's Lauren Graham?
She's fine. She's fine. I didn't have any problems with her. It wasn't like super invested in her story or anything like that. Like I thought the kids were more entertaining than
Weird that her kid. It's weird that her kid is younger than her daughter was in Gilmore Girls.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Although Lorelai was supposed to be 16 when she had her kid in Gilmore
Oh
Girls.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a young mother for sure.
Yeah.
She was a horrible mother in Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, she was.
She
So-
was really bad.
And when was Gilmore Girls? Like almost 20 years ago now?
Yeah.
2000 it
was
started.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like 2004,
Wow.
2000
2005.
to 2007.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's say she was a 37-year-old, or I mean, the kid's 10. I don't fucking, I can't do the math right now.
She'd
But
be 27.
I think the math ultimately checks out, but that is pretty weird.
She's 54
So
now.
weird.
She's 54 now. The kid's
She's from Honolulu, Hawaii, which
the
is
kid's
surprising.
12 years old. It would be
So,
it would be
that would
very
be a weird one.
It would be
She'd be
very
42.
impressive. It would be very impressive genetics and
She
science.
waited a while. to have
'cause-
this hockey prodigy that she birthed
'cause,
is
yeah,
made from finding Gordon Bombay and capturing his seed.
the dad on the show didn't seem like he'd be someone who was like trying to have a kid, or like paying for IVF or something like that. So yeah,
So they don't have a genetic god baby that's great at hockey. Shame.
yeah, I think just a
Goddamn
miracle.
shame. Goddamn shit. Oh, it's another hockey movie.
That's true. But yeah, would you guys watch season 2?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
Oh yeah.
And would you recommend the show to people who enjoyed any of the Mighty Ducks movies?
Of course.
Yeah, why not?
I might watch
It's
it at
good.
some
I-
point.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna.
Like I
watch
said,
I'll watch it before
it's
Corey. I'll
super
guarantee
corny.
you that much.
it.
I know you will.
30-minute
It's- it-
30-minute
it's gonna be
episodes.
super high.
So I mean, you can just crush it.
I'm
you
infinite-
though?
It's
I
It's
kind
not
was
that
infinitely
easy.
more involved in like Mighty Ducks 1 and 2 than I ever was in Karate Kid 1 or even 2. I don't think I even really seen 2 like in its entirety. And I like Cobra Kai, but I don't like cheesy ass garbage TV.
You will like Gordon Bombay, even though
I
he's,
mean, I love
he's
Emilio.
essentially turned into his father.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
He's starting to look and sound like Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Dude, the fact that they're related is still just it blows my mind. And Charlie's his brother.
Yep.
It just he talks a lot like this, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Emilio.
Good old
That's
Martin
actually-
fucking Sheen.
Actually, a pretty good imitation.
I mean, he was our fucking vice
was our vice
principal for the
principal.
longest time.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He was on crack though.
That he was.
It's so weird.
All right. Last but not least, Loki.
Loki,
Series premiere, season 1, episode 1.
another
Well.
goddamn Marvel TV show.
I didn't see it, so I'm heading out.
Oh,
Please.
Chat
damn.
with you boys.
See you later.
Tomorrow.
Thank you for
Did
joining
you
us.
guys see the
Yeah.
Easter egg?
We'll wait until Brian leaves.
Yeah, wait until Brian leaves to
Did
talk
you
about this.
guys
God
see
damn it,
the
Corey.
Easter egg?
Some
I'm
goddamn,
guessing
like-
you saw it online. What
I
was
didn't.
it?
No,
Well,
it
let's
was it was in the stained glass window of the church. It was the devil, Mephisto.
Oh,
Precursor.
yeah.
Oh,
I heard,
goddamn
I
it.
heard people
Where is
online
it?
saying don't fall for the Mephisto stuff
Yeah.
again. Like,
Where is it?
I saw. I
is
didn't
it?
know who that was, but I know what you're talking about because that wasn't even an Easter egg. It was like right in front of everyone's
Yeah.
face.
Well,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
that
You
weird
just
Easter
have.
egg.
You just have. I
There
guess
was
you would have
No, I
to
think
know.
I think it's definitely a bait. I think it's
Yeah,
definitely a
several.
bait and switch. But
Oh, here we go. Mephisto counts
So-
1 on Twitch. There we go. Boom.
I
I
mean,
just
for
had
all we
to-
know,
I
it's
had
a,
to say it.
for all we know, it's a Loki variant.
There we go.
Could be, yeah.
Mephisto counts
Or
1.
or it could be it could be
We are
Boner.
at one Mephisto count for Loki.
Boner. He's going to be the villain of this.
Yeah,
I don't want no
possible.
boners in my goddamn Loki.
All right. I thought this was the best Marvel hour of
It's-
television we've gotten yet.
It's
I agree.
great.
I would put it above
100%
every
agree.
episode of WandaVision, every episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it.
There had been some great WandaVision episodes, especially when they didn't have other people acting in it other than Bettany and Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
I still thought supporting actors in this were fucking terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Any ones you want
I
to
didn't
shout
really
out?
like the big woman with the
She sucked.
she had like the stick.
Yep.
She's
She
Yeah,
was
in
yeah,
terrible.
She's in Lovecraft Country.
She was awful.
I thought that's where I knew her from.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
She's the
awful.
sister.
And then like the judge was really bad too. I think it was more her lines being really poorly written, but I thought she was really bad. Subject matter was fantastic. Style was awesome.
Like
Mhm.
You
they
get that
took
retro
some,
futurism. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
they took some like something that should be so
Yeah, that was
convoluted,
amazing.
like the idea of like the multiverse and how like
So weird.
everything works, and you just made it like super interesting.
Yeah.
Like
And very clear.
space lizards controlling the and Loki made it perfect. It
was Tom Hiddleston's best performance as Loki.
Yeah.
I was
that-
just
definitely.
I was
Yeah,
just waiting the
Tom-
whole
Tom
episode
was
to watch him
great.
die. Like
Oh.
was that everyone's thing? Like once they started showing his life,
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
just like
I was like,
this-
he has to see it. He needs
he's
to
Yeah.
see
gonna
what
watch
happens.
himself die and just
Yeah.
like completely go nuts.
And like watching his mom die, like that was
Crazy.
wild. Like him finally real. I was hoping they were going to do that. Like, all right, if you can show the past, like you got to be able to show the future. Like if
Yeah.
you know what's supposed to happen, you would have it
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
The jokes
and then like
were
how it
great.
unspools all the way to the end. Like, all right, that's it. That's the end of the tape. You're dead.
The technology with the like popping into timelines and throwing that little thing, it was sort of it from the get-go. I was like, this is kind of Men in Blackish.
Yeah.
I got that feeling. The first CGI I saw was that sand dune with the bug, and it was fucking horrible. Like when he goes to the Gobi Desert, there's this CGI sand dune that they're looking at with a bug crawling on it, and it looked fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this reminds me of Men in Black. Just from
Beetle-
like a horrible,
or
like a
Beetlejuice.
horrible CGI standpoint. And then it had a very Men
Did
in
you
Black
see it in
feel.
4K?
No, Doug, I don't have. I actually do have a 4K television, but
That might have
don't
been
think
why
it-
it didn't look good.
no, it just looked bad. It just looked different than all the other sand dunes. I thought it was cool. It's a great concept. The fact that he
Yeah.
was
I
what was DB Cooper, and
Yeah.
it wasn't like a
yeah
timeline thing, kind of threw me off a little bit. That was just like a
yeah
bet from
just
Thor.
just Loki being Loki.
That was cool.
The way
I
that
love
they're
the like bureaucracy of it, like
Uh-huh.
the
Oh.
government building that they were in the video.
Yeah, the video was
everything.
so
cartoon
good.
video.
And, like
Great.
it's incredible.
They killed
It,
the
like,
guy
had
because
like
he
a
didn't
dino
take
DNA, like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, the whole number thing. That
when
was
they murdered
really
the
funny.
dude because he didn't take a ticket. I was fucking dying. I thought they were just gonna send him back to the line infinitely for like forever, but they just straight up murdered him.
I like.
I thought he sucked as an actor too, though. I thought it was like this guy's just annoying and he sucks.
Yeah. When
But it was
Loki has to
hilarious.
go through the thing and he's like, wait, would I know if I was a robot? Like he seriously is worried at that point that he will die.
I actually had a joke like lined up talking about like I don't do most people know if they're robots or not, and like I don't know if I'm a robot. That was so good. I think the bureaucracy is gonna like play a great part throughout this entire series, and I think it's gonna be fucking hilarious. I think he's gonna have to do like when he goes out and does stuff, he's gonna have to do like paperwork the whole fucking time. At least I
That
hope
would be
so.
pretty funny.
'Cause that would be
Loki's
hilarious.
stuck in eternity doing paperwork.
And they talked about nightmare too, or something like that. When he
Yeah.
said this is a nightmare, he goes, "No, I'll actually help you burn that to the ground."
Wow.
Wow,
it's
he was
Owen
so
Wilson.
excited about things.
Owen Wilson was great.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was great.
I could watch him and Tom Hiddleston like just talking forever.
When he
It was
talks
so
to the
entertaining.
judge, and he's like, "Wow, it's like you're always up there, and I'm talking. Wow,
And I'm down here. It feels appropriate.
feels appropriate. Wow,
Wow.
just so natural. Wow."
I really liked how they're expanding the like slowly, like the cosmic portion of like the MCU, like really starting to like dig in and feed that into whatever they're going to be doing. Like this episode alone, like there
Where
was just,
you've
like,
been so
much
hyped.
stuff.
You've been so hyped on cosmic stuff since
Cosmic
2014.
Corey.
Like since like the
Cosmic
moment Guardians of
Corey.
the Galaxy was ever announced.
It's the best.
Corey's
It's
been like so amped on the cosmic side
the
of
best
Marvel.
of Marvel. It's totally the best. Not, but the
Good so far.
the Infinity Gem joke was like literally killed me. That killed me.
They're just in a drawer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we use them as paperweights sometimes.
Paperweights.
That was funny. I like that.
That
And
guy
when
was
the-
on Doug. That guy was on Good Place, right?
Oh, he looked familiar.
He was Jason Mendoza's buddy. I'm
I think
pretty.
you're right.
I'm pretty sure that's where I've seen it from.
I was like, oh yeah, that guy looks familiar, but I did not place him on Good Place. But that makes sense.
He was pretty funny. He was a little annoying, but
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty funny. And when he's just like when she swipes at Loki and misses, he goes, "You almost hit me." He's like, "I'm not gonna forget that." I thought that was pretty hilarious. It seems like it's gonna be a good show. I honestly thought this was gonna be the most fun out of any of them because it just seems like they're not really taking themselves too seriously and they're just gonna do like crazy shit.
Mhm.
You know what this is exactly like though? The One with Jet Li and fucking Jason Statham. It's one guy hunting down all his variants throughout all multiverses, which is a fantastic movie with a fantastic angsty soundtrack.
That ending was dark as hell of the one variant fucking murdering everyone.
Oh my god, he just lights the grass on fire and everyone. I thought that. I was like, this is the darkest murders in probably Marvel history.
I don't know if I'd go above Walker killing the guy, but
that was pretty fucked up. But at least he didn't get burned to death. He just got like cleanly decapitated.
So that's a Loki variant. That's what they're
apparently.
saying? I don't
That's
know.
what they
That's
said.
Yeah,
but they didn't show him. So the fact that they didn't
they-
show him,
Yeah.
I feel like he might be like a female Loki or something.
People
but
are
yeah,
saying
that's what Owen Wilson claimed.
people are saying like
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror is gonna be.
Or it's Mephisto.
Kang the Conqueror's in
Up!
Ant-Man 3.
Uh-oh.
That's who Jonathan Majors is playing.
Mhm.
Two Mephistos. That's on the Mephisto count.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm not getting roped into the
Possible.
Mephisto hype this time. I'm going to assume that nothing major is happening, no major implications
No.
in the MCU. That's what.
Well, actually, there's
that's
gonna
how
be
I'm
massive.
going into it. And
There's massive major
doesn't matter.
implications.
I'm going in with the idea that there's no implications, and I'm just enjoying it. Whatever happens, I'm happy
I
with.
think the
Dude,
director of the show
They just
said-
established a multiverse.
I know,
Yeah,
but still,
It's huge. It's like
no
the next
implications.
4 movies are
Yeah, but-
multiverse.
I mean, we already knew the multiverse was happening. So
yeah,
like,
but like they're gonna set the ground rules.
no, I mean,
for it. They're
Endgame.
gonna.
Endgame started the multiverse.
Well, no, they started time travel. Well, they talked about multiverse, but they
They
started.
started it when Loki takes the
But this is the continuation of it.
Tesseract.
Like you get to see
But,
how
like, we weren't
it's
surprised
gonna
that there
play
was a
out.
multiverse because
Yeah, but you're gonna get to see how it actually plays out.
yes,
Mm.
And like how there can be like this would be a great. So after seeing this first episode, I think I know exactly how they're going to bring the X-Men are going to be a multiverse variant that comes into this world. 100%. I think at this point they're not going to
And that would
exist in
make
the real
sense.
world, but when
Yeah, they're
there's going to
gonna
be yeah. So Doctor Strange is going to like make it fucking like everything's going to branch out. And Spider-Man, everything's going to branch out, and then they're going to reconsolidate it into a timeline where now the X-Men are there.
dude, and that's why people are gonna have a problem with mutants because they're from another dimension.
I think that's 100% how this is going to work now.
'Cause
and it makes-
out of nowhere you have these types of people with special abilities.
That's the perfect out. It's the
Yeah.
perfect out. And I think that would work so well
Because you
It
can
would be
get
very
away
cool.
like, oh, they've been here the whole time.
the whole time. They've
Really?
just been chilling. Chilling this whole time. I think it's going to be a multiverse thing where they bring in the X-Men, and I think that'll be really cool. They may actually sprinkle a little bit of like references to it here and there during this series because they've done it enough with the other series where they reference things. So you got Fantastic Four in WandaVision, and then Captain America was just a complete fucking push to story.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is going to have some sort of ramifications to the Marvel universe, and I'm ready.
I wonder if because of like the time travel shit, I wonder if we're gonna see Thanos again. Like even just for like a small cameo.
Well, you
I
did.
wonder. I know, but that was and that goes to the one and only negative I have about this episode is all the reused footage. There was so much.
I
Reused
loved
footage.
it.
Um,
I
I
absolutely
didn't
loved
have
it.
a problem with the way they did it.
yeah. Well.
Because I mean, other than the beginning, it was just him watching footage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the beginning was cool because it kind of just like showed how this immediately follows Endgame.
Yeah. Which was cool.
And it's probably some of the more fun parts of Endgame to me. Like, I
the
really
time
liked that
travel
scene. It was
was
just
great.
fun. Yeah, it was a good time. It's gonna be neat. But now you have to wonder if it's really gonna be his variant, and it's just Loki the variant, and it's not like a different type of Loki. That's a different actor or actress, whatever.
I mean, it could be because that's the
How
whole
much
thing
of
with
that
Loki.
trailer is prime Loki versus evil Loki?
Yeah. I mean, Loki is not, and I think they confirmed that with the MCU, but Loki's like gender fluid. So
It might be a way to tie in Thor: Love and Thunder type of shit, where you have like a female Loki now, and like a female Thor doesn't seem so weird.
If Black Widow couldn't possibly be less of an afterthought, it's going to be coming out 2 days after the penultimate episode of Loki.
I give two shits about Black Widow at this point.
Like all the hype is going to be on Loki in the beginning of July because it's going to be so close to the finale.
Yeah, it's
all the hype's gonna be Black Widow still. Everyone's dying to see that
I'm
Scarlett
hyped.
Johansson swan song.
I'm still gonna see it, Doug, but it really has absolutely no bearing on the MCU at all.
I mean, that's the problem with it. And that's why I was conflicted about taking it as my number one, but I'm stuck with it. So
people are gonna watch it. My wife is incredibly hyped about it.
We'll make a lot of money.
I know that her sister wants to see it with us.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be a movie that people are gonna want to see. It's a Marvel movie at the end of the day.
And it's got Florence Pugh.
That people love her.
Yeah.
Love Florence.
I don't have an opinion either way about her.
Midsummer.
I don't watch horror movies.
It's not a horror movie.
It's a gory sacrifice fest. I'm good with that.
Gory
yeah, it's definitely gory. It's definitely gory.
I don't like mutilation. So
fantasy.
And it's realistic gory too.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Worse.
I don't like that. It's absolutely worse. David Harbour as Captain Russia dude, whatever, will be fun. The Red Room stuff will be cool, but
yeah, I forgot his
Loki. Are we pumped about Owen Wilson?
Yes.
Are we in the Owen Wilson because I'm super.
We're back. Owen Wilson's back.
It's so back right now, right?
It's great.
Investing stock in Owen Wilson right now.
Totally. Is this the first thing he's done since his Dark Times?
I don't remember the last thing he's been in.
Because it's been a long time since I've seen him.
Yeah, it's been a while.
His hair's gray now.
Yeah. His nose looks exactly the same. He's a little less happy.
Wow.
Was Hall Pass the last thing I've seen him in?
I think it was.
Okay, he was in Grand Budapest Hotel, Night at Museum 3. Oh yeah, Cars 3.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
He did a bunch of stuff, but yeah, it was 2014. He's in the new Wes Anderson movie coming out this year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he's just in all of them, right?
Yeah,
he's in a lot. Yeah, he's in lots of Wes Anderson things.
Him and his brother are always in Wes Anderson movies.
God, I hate Wes Anderson so much.
I like his movies.
But yeah, fucking Owen Wilson.
It's so great. It's so great.
Glow up for Owen Wilson for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Very strong first episode, but
it was.
So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep it up. Be really nice if they can go 6 very strong episodes.
Yeah.
So it's only 6 episodes. We only got 5 more.
Yep.
They're all an hour.
They are all around an hour. Yeah.
That's
this one was, I guess, about 40 something.
This was like 45 minutes, I think.
45 to 50 credits, or without the credits. But yeah, we'll see how it holds up. But yeah, that was it. We ran through a lot of stuff. Next week we're going to be talking about Well, what we're going to be doing is going to be another different thing. We're going to test our movie knowledge in a head-to-head film bracket tournament. And what's going to be cool about this is the winner will be determining what film we start watching in our brand new movie club. So tune in to our next episode so you find out what your homework's going to be for the month, what you're going to be watching, what we're going to be talking about later this month. Other than that, right after this, we're going to be covering 2012 in our yearly film series, the year where the world didn't end.
True.
So
True.
watch that on YouTube, or if you're on Twitch. We had technical difficulties today with getting live, but I think some people eventually got on.
Yeah, we're live right now, so we're chilling right now.
Beautiful.
We have a
So yeah,
good spread.
we had a
for
lot of
2020.
submissions for 2012. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out.
Good spread for 2012
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
terms of movie diversity.
Yeah, we got
Holy
comedy,
shit.
superhero movie. There's a lot of stuff. There were a lot of people that submitted this week.
There's
Those
wow.
aren't even all of Kate's. Those are just some of them.
Oh boy. All right. But yeah, that's it. So as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph at Live Breathe Film. We'll see you again next time, movie lovers.
Bye.
Bye.